I think we're live. So sorry about that. Come on in. Let me know where you're watching from. This is Jeanette with Our Background Creation. Had just a little bit of technical difficulty, but I think we are good to go. Comments. There we go. Hi guys. How are you doing tonight? We're going to make a wreath, a bumblebee. We're going to buzz around the room tonight. So last time it was a ladybug wreath, and now we're going to make some bumblebees. Coworker wanted, what does it look right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think something slid there a little bit. But how's everybody doing? There we go. So let me know that you're here, so I know everything's working okay. I don't know why I have so much trouble. Hey Cheryl, how are you doing? Come on in everybody, let me know that you're watching. So tonight we're going to make a bumblebee wreath. And here is my sign. Now you can't see it, but we'll have it right there. Thank you, Cheryl. It sprinkled here. Actually, it poured down rain. Hey, Tracy. I'm doing good. It wasn't quite as hot today. And hi, Nancy. How are you? So I have YouTube friends and I have Facebook friends joining us tonight. So just remember, if Mr. FB goes all wonkadoodle on us, I'll be over on the YouTube. But we have a 14-inch frame here with 10 ties on the outside and 8 on the inside. I've already started making most of our bundles because I have 45 minutes. So I made most of them, but I'll make a few here to show you. So this is fabric mesh, so it's a lot softer than some of the regular deco mesh. I needed some clothespins. I think this big table is all big enough, but sometimes I just have stuff everywhere. So we're going to do a woodland ruffle. These are cut about 19-20 inches. And then we're going to roll them 2 or 3 times on each end. What that does is put that cut end on the inside and helps with the frame. Then we'll do it on the other end. Now, a lot of people can do it across their chest. I'm not that talented. Then it makes a little bow tie or a butterfly. So we have the yellow and white mesh, and then we have black. They're both fabric. Fabric's my favorite, but it is a little bit more expensive than the regular deco mesh. Hi, Lori from North Carolina. How are you? So what we're going to do is we'll alternate. If you haven't watched me before, I have a kind of a pattern. We'll do the yellow on top with the black, and then we'll switch it up and we'll put black on top. We always start on the outside. Trust me. You don't want to start on the inside, because one time I did that and it was an epic failure. You wouldn't think so, but it was. So I just put one on top of the other and give her a good old twist inside. A couple twists. And then as we go around, we'll turn the sides up or the ends up, and they'll push up against each other. Here's my sign for those who are just jumping in. Hi, Mary Claire. How are you? There's my sign. I'm going to have to make me some more kits to work on. I did about 4 or 5 wreath kits. I just had them in the spare bedroom. That way, if I didn't have nothing planned, I knew I could count on that. Sometimes, you just get creative block and you just don't know what to make. I have all kinds of stuff to make. But, Sometimes you just have a block. I started a new job and it's just frying my brain. So we roll up both ends. You can still cut this on a sealer if you wanted. The fabric mesh doesn't melt like the traditional. So this one we had the black on top, so this one we'll put the yellow. So it doesn't look like much when we first start, but it'll fill out. I hope nobody's in the storm's path. I know Minnesota has got devastation going on. So we'll just put those ends right next to each other. We kind of bend them up, and then that'll help make it poofy. Oh, I forgot to turn my phone on. So if you guys wouldn't mind sprinkling me out, I'd appreciate it. It wasn't quite as hot. But listen, when it was almost 100 degrees, was it end of last week? I had to wear a sweater at work. It's so cold in there. But then you go outside and then you roast by the time you get to your car. I actually have a little heater at my desk because my hands got so cold. They said winter's just the same. I'm like, oh boy. Maybe by Christmas I might be working from home. We can work from home after we're trained. Training's about 6 months. There's a lot to learn. So now we're going to go back to black. Then we'll keep on going around and around until we have the whole outside. So if you wonder what my channel is over on YouTube, it is the same as my Facebook channel. It's Our Backroom Creations. So if you wanted to jump over there and give that a little subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Okay, so the rest of them I do have already rolled up. Some people call it a woodland ruffle. Some people call it a cruffle. I don't really know who made it up, but I just wanted to let you know that there is 2 names for the type of little ruffle that we did. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Last weekend, my hubby took me out to, I hate saying Amish land, but out in one of the small towns. There's a big wood lumber shop. It's not just lumber, it's tools and everything. They have like specialty woods. I'll have to bring some up sometime. We have purple heart. The wood is actually purple. We gotta make up our minds what we're gonna do with it. But then there was 2 fabric stores that I've been wanting to stop at just across the street. And so I finally got to go to those, and they carry all kinds of homespun. I was like in 7th heaven. It is a lot more expensive than what I get at Hobby Lobby, but they had so many colors. So, yeah, I kind of got in trouble with the card there. He was like, is that all you're going to get? And I'm like, wait till we get to the desk. They found some remnants, though. Because what I've been making, and I don't know if we'll use these tonight, but in the patriotic wreath, if you saw that, I've been making fabric balls. And I forgot, I just remembered earlier that I had these little bee ones. So they're not like the stuffed balls like I've made in the past. These are just fabric balls. I make a lot of the primitive one. Hi, Giselle. But I put red ones that had stars in them in my patriotic wreath. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And these are like a lot cheaper than the stuffed ones and a lot easier to make. So I've been making those. I have a whole bed full laid out in there that I got to get listed. There's never enough time in the day. How are you doing, Giselle? Hi, Patty. How are you, girl? Patty's on YouTube. Here's our sign we're making tonight. Little bzz bzz bees. Says home sweet home. Now fabric mesh, it'll still fray, but it just doesn't fray as bad as the regular poly deco mesh. And it's softer. Thank you, Patty. Patty's been my faithful YouTube subscriber. Sorry. You subscribe to YouTube, you follow Facebook. So we're almost around, but you can see how it starts to fill up. But you got to make sure that you turn your ends up against the next one, or else it won't have that uniform roundness to it. And it'll get a little wonky looking. Let's see if I can make my pattern go tonight. If you were with me with ladybugs, I oopsed one of my patterns for my mesh, but you can't tell. Have you guys been watching Craft Around the Clock today? I kind of have the autonomy between orders and stuff. I can peek in and watch and listen to a few people because I'm not answering the phones yet. I'm like, I'm fine with that. I've had to answer the phone so much that I am absolutely fine with not answering phones for a while. To have a cadence in how you learn your stuff, and I'm just on order entry, and I am fine with that. So here's the outside. Flip these all up so I can see where they're at. Now we'll start the pattern all over. It doesn't matter where you start. Have you seen everybody start on Halloween and fall and Christmas? I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Because when I have to start bringing fall and Christmas in my house, it's a hot mess because I have so much fall and Christmas. I think I need to downsize it. There's lots of inspiration to be had watching Craft Around the Clock. There's all kinds of designers on there. Everything from decoupage to paper crafting to wreath making. Or you might learn just a little bit of farming too. This week, Friday, is one of our cardboard themed days. There is so much stuff that you can make with just plain cardboard. I actually made a door hanger last time. I still have it. It's hanging in the bedroom. I don't think I'd put it outside though, because it might disintegrate, even though I have a covered porch. When the rain blows, it all gets wet. Now on the inside, you can just make sure that all your ends are pointing in the right direction, and it'll really start to fill up for you. I always forget what I did last. But now I'm back to driving 8 miles to work. So I can be to work in 15, 20 minutes, which is nice. So this will be 2 rolls. Each one was cut at between 19 and 20 inches. You know, a whole roll is supposed to be 30 yards or 15 feet, which makes exactly 360 inches. 18 20-inch cuts. But somehow, it just doesn't always work out that way. So I kind of cut a 19, and then a 20. That's just kind of how I go, and I usually ends up pretty well. So everybody had supper tonight. Floyd made pot pies for me. Hi, Velma. How you doing? So we're not going to cut off our ties yet because we got ribbon to put on here. I'm just making sure my ends are pointed up. So we got 2 more sets. I have been on a Netflix series kick. So I already watched all of Bridgerton. I had the new series of Bridgerton done in like 3 days. And that's working days. No, Thursday, it premiered Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I finished them up. But they're not going to make another season until 2016. So if you kind of like sci-fi, kind of magic, not like scary, but just like kind of corny scary, like little witches. You love Popeyes. I've been watching, what's it called? Legacies. It's like 4 seasons. I'm in season 3, about witches and vampires and all that, but they're kids and they go to a school. It's kind of cute. It's something to watch. Because we don't have, you had soup, Cheryl? There's nothing wrong with soup. When my husband can't figure out what he wants to eat on the weekends for lunch, he'll just have a can of soup. Like, you do you, boo. I'd eat chili all year long, but you know how some people don't like that. You love Bridgerton, Nancy? I know, I do too. So what I did was, right before the 3rd season was going to premiere, I had to watch 1 and 2 again. So if the 4th season's not going to come out till 2016, gosh, I'm going to have to watch them all over again, like several times, just to keep it fresh in my mind. But I like that era. So there we go. Here's our wreath. Just make sure they're all nice and poofy. So now we got some ribbon tails. These are cut at, did I do 13 or 14? Let's see. These are 13. So we have a yellow stripe and a black polka dot. And then we have a bumblebee and a black and white stripe. So there's 18 ties, but I don't cut 18. I usually cut 6 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 6 of each. This is only because I have to watch the salt and so. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yes. Watch your sodium. I have high blood pressure, so I have to watch it. I hope you're doing better. My grandpa had all kinds of health issues, and I can remember growing up. We even had salt-free potato chips. They tasted nasty, but when you went to Grandma and Grandpa's, that's all you got. I hope you're doing better. But yes, canned soup is awful with sodium. I don't cook with a whole lot of salt. That's probably because I learned to cook in the same time frame that my grandpa was ill. And I don't salt a whole lot. I figure if you want salt on it, you can put it on yourself. Well, that's good, Cheryl. I have high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Got that from my dad. Now if I can find some wood. He had 2 heart attacks. I hope I don't have any. Looks like I'm going after my dad, though, because she now has high blood pressure. She's 76. Go ahead and cut these off. I cut them off. I leave 1/4 to a 1/2 inch so I can fold them over. That way, if I need to take them out for some reason, I've got a little bit of something to grab onto. So there's our ribbon tails, the 2 different kinds, and we'll do those all the way around the outside. I know there's so many different kinds of cancer. Seems like all the time I'm hearing about another one, but I'm glad that you are cancer free. So I put mine in a V. Some people do a crisscross. It's just a matter of what's your preference. I started making wreaths about 4 years ago, I think it is now. A little over 4 years. I couldn't make bows when I first started. Hey, girl. It's going. You lost 136 pounds? Wow. Well, yeah. I started having health problems and it all jumped on me. Let's go over here. My mother-in-law, she got more sick. She lost a lot of weight. I don't have that set up, Cheryl. I need to do that. You just reminded me. I thought I did, but then, I don't know, something went on. Hopefully the cat's not in here, because I think those missed the trash can. That cat, she chewed on my glasses. I laid them on the bed to dry my hair this morning, and the little brat chewed on my glasses, and I've got bite marks in the coating on my glass frame. I'm like, what the heck? How does she do that? Floyd's doing good. I think he's packaging signs up. We're still doing wreath signs. If you go to the link at the bottom of the page, the Our Backroom Creations, we've got multiple Etsy pages linked to it. So Our Backroom Creations has the signs, and then there's Rustic Haven that has, that's okay, Cheryl, has the fabric balls, and I have to start listing all the other stuff I've been doing. And then we have OBC Woodcrafts, and I'll start listing wood projects there, and blanks, kits, stuff like that. Thank you, Cheryl. I like making wreaths. I like making everything. That's the problem. They just don't move as fast as some other stuff. I sell them in the local shop I'm in. I have a wreath Etsy too, but I'm bad at I neglect it because I sell more out of the shop. I sell a few online. There's not very many left in there. So I don't make quite as many. I've made more here lately than I have for a while. Thinking about making a little one. Maybe just a summer one or just a regular, just an all-purpose one. Hanging. They're cubies at work. It's a big one though. But it's so, I call it sterile because it's all blank and dark in there. Because a lot of people work from home, so there's mostly newer people in there. So I'm going to decorate my cubby. It's the size of a small office, but it's a cubby. So I can holler over the wall at the girl next door. I think she's going to end up working from home, though. You have that option if your internet's good. A couple girls. We have one boy. No, two boys. The one, I don't think he's going to. You would like to see a smaller one, Nancy? I can make one. Next one I'll make, we call them pixie wreaths. They're on an 8-inch wreath form from the Dollar Tree. So here is all the ribbon tails around the outside. Got to get moving. Because up front, I was up in one of the HR offices because I had to go up and sign up for my insurance. And she's got a window and she's got her office decorated. I said, I may not have a window, but I'll make me a fake window. Especially if I got to be in there for 6. Well, I've already been there for a month. But I usually put my signs about 4 or 5 o'clock. Here is my bow. I already made a bow. Thank you, Patty. I always I use zip ties, and I leave them on to the last minute, so I use them as a handle. So my bow always goes, not always, but generally speaking, goes about 10, 11 o'clock, and my sign goes about 4 or 5 o'clock. I just treat when I teach people how to make a wreath, I call it like a clock. Thank you, Cheryl. Usually I don't make long tail bows until Christmas time is usually when those start happening. I don't know why. I just the way it is. And I only put 3 on the back. It's cable ties. This one out here, sometimes I'll put depending on if I'm adding a lot of things, I'll kick my sign off the edge of the wreath. And if that's the case, I don't want to have to hide the pipe cleaner. So I never put a tie on that outside edge. Hi, Precious. How are you? Long time no see. So I'm just twisting these around. You want to make sure that you twist it around the frame, or else you might lose it. That one's kind of loose. I do like to make bows. I had so many that I had to dismantle them because when I got bored, I would just come up here and make bows. Okay, I'll fasten that one here in a little bit. So I still have some ties on the inside, and so I cut. Oh, thank you, Precious. I appreciate the people that have watched me before. I'm usually only live once a week, maybe twice. I've kind of backed off a little bit. So the ties that I still have on the middle run, I'll find out where they are because I don't want my ribbons sticking out from underneath the sign because it makes them look a little funny. Say if I needed more, I could cut more, but of the B ribbon, I used all it up. So we're just gonna put some in here. Then that way you don't waste ribbon. I still have bags and boxes of ribbon tails because I used to make I usually made 3 or 4 wreaths a week for like almost 2 years. And then I wouldn't use them all after I decided that it didn't look right sticking out from behind my sign. So like right here, I'm not going to put one. I do have some little bees, like I'm just going to tack that in with the little tie. I'll have to glue him in later. Let's see, where do we have another one at? Here, we got one. So 6 sets is what I cut. So I cut 12 sets total. Oh, well, thank you. And I still V my tails on the inside. And when I say that, all the tails point one way. Some people put them in an X, where I do them. I V them is what I call it. Okay. So we have one there that I'm not going to be using. So we're going to go ahead and cut that off. I see one up in here. We're not going to put none underneath the bow because we just don't need it. That's my sign one. I need a little bit longer. Because there in the middle, you don't have the frame right underneath of it. So we'll have to spread it off to the one side. So what I'll do is, back here, here's my sign, so I'll bring it over here and attach it. There we go. Now I did make another little bow just because, thank you, Nancy. Because sometimes, I don't know if I want it there now. You could put another little bow down here. This one's not quite as big as that one. So I use my zip tie and my my Chanel stems for like a handle to fluff up my bow. You always want to use wired ribbon because that's what holds your bow up. If you use unwired ribbon, it's just going to be floppy. Then I crank on it one more time. If I do 2 bows, I'll do them diagonal from each other. Oh, thank you, Mary Claire. If you ever struggle on what colors to put together, sometimes you just get a block. Go online and look at a color wheel. I actually have one. So you can, online, you can, pick a red and see what, what's the opposite of red. what's the opposite, like red, yellow, and blue are your primary, and then you have green, purple, and orange as your secondary colors. Then you can go into tertiary colors and all that. There we go. So I'll have to fiddle with it. I might have to move the sign up just a little bit more. We can always cut this tail a little bit. Nothing says that your tail has to be the same size on both ends. Now you can't see my bee. I stuck him in there good. There we go. So let's cut that. So these bees were from Dollar Tree. I had some ladybugs, just like it. So if I put some... Oh, I thought I turned this on. Oh, I didn't. Doggone it. Oh, well. Ooh, here's some more pipe cleaners. So we can just weave this in like I did with the ladybugs. I do have 3 of these. I keep all my stuff in totes and seasons. Spring and summer is not so big as fall and Christmas. Not too much Halloween. So here's my other bee. These are just little metal things that were in the summer section of the Dollar Tree, like to put in your flower pots and stuff. But always think outside of your actual crafting sections of stores, because you can always use a lot of different things. So here's one bee. Here's another bee. Probably do this one right here. So you always want to make kind of like a triangle. It can be a lopsided triangle. Doesn't have to be a perfect one. So we have one here, and one up here. Now I have those rag balls that I made, but I don't know that I'm going to put those in here. Though it does pull that goldish yellow, the darker yellow from the sign. So you could just set those in there like that, and that way it kind of pulls in that goldish color. These are on the website. I'll have to make another. If somebody wants these, I'll have to make another set. Got plenty of fabric though. So we've got about 5 minutes. So if you were with me, you saw how I attach these. Thought I had my glue gun on, but I guess not. So this is a pick machine. So I'll put a little sharp. Real sharp. So normally I would use glue, but since I left it out, and these are styrofoam. Come on. There we go. And that way you don't have to dip the whole thing down in the glue. Yes, they bounce. Go ahead and get this out of the way. I put some colors together that I never thought I would. But I let the girls, I used to have a private group. And I let them pick the ribbons. And they weren't ribbons I would have picked. But you know what? They worked. Oh, thank you, Tracy. So if you wanted to add a little bit, see the gold of the sign doesn't really match the bright yellow. But when you get into some things like pinks and yellows are sometimes hard to match. we can just use these to pull that golden yellow out. So I would just put these down in here. And don't forget, if you're not watching from Craft Around the Clock, get over there and sign up. It's free. But you do have to, it is a private group just to keep out the weirdos. There's so many these days. So now it looks like it's sitting there on my ribbon. So normally I would put glue on this. Got so much fabric on there, there it goes. Oh, it bent. See if I can get it in there now. Hey, Ricky, how you doing, friend? There we go. Just like that. So I have just a couple minutes left. Not sure who's after me, but one of my amazing crafting sisters will be up next. There's live crafting from Monday through, hi Lisa, Monday through Friday, early in the morning till late at night. And lots of, like, this Friday is cardboard day. You don't know what to do with all that cardboard, come see us. So this one, I'm just going to hold on here. I'll have to do another pick, but I'll probably put it up here. So here we go. Here's our little bee wreath. Nice and cute, not too thick. I didn't make this one gigantic. It might fit between the storm doors. So the sign's on the shop and the rag balls are on the shop. So the link's at the bottom of the page. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out for me. And I hope you stick around and see the next creator. And I hope to see you again. Have a great night, guys. Bye. Thank you, Patty. Thanks, Lisa.